Hello, Beetle Dave again. I thought for this video we'd take a look at one of my favourite David Bowie albums, Hunky Dory, released in 1971 in the UK. So this was before Ziggy Stardust and just after Man Who Sold the World. This is an original UK first pressing, so it's on RCA Victor, and the number is SF8244. And it has the gem production, so it doesn't mention Main Man anywhere, I don't think. That's the back sleeve. Front sleeve. So the track listing on this is side one is Changes, Oh You Pretty Things. Now Peter Noon out of Herman Hermits actually recorded that as a single. It did actually chart in the UK. Number 3 is 8-line poem. 4 is the classic Life on Mars. Take a look at the love man. Love that song. Number 5, Goops. Another great song. If you stay in a lover's story. Number 6 on side 1 is Quicksand. Side 2, Fill Your Heart. Number 2, Andy Warhol. 3 is Song for Bob Dylan. 4, Queen Bitch. And if you ever listen to that song, that would actually have fitted nicely onto Ziggy Stardust. And 5 is the Bowie Brothers. The album was produced by Ken Scott, assisted by the actor meaning David Bowie, and it was recorded at Trident Studios in London. All in all, brilliant. Now with this, you also got a goodie. You got an insert with the lyrics to the songs. It's hard to actually find this nowadays. So let's have a look at the record. So it is on the orange RCA Victor label. Here you can see these labels. It's a bit hard sometimes for them to come up on this laptop. Some of them come out really, really nice. And I think you've got that one okay. I think you can get that one okay. If you want a more detailed look, you might have to freeze it or pause it. I know that's okay. That one looks okay. Yep, so like I say, a genuine first UK pressing, heavyweight vinyl. Sound quality on it is absolutely amazing. Out of all my David Bowie albums, I would say this is my favourite. I do like the Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. I will say it properly in case anybody says not called Ziggy Stardust. Somebody had to get me once for saying Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and they just said Sergeant Pepper. It's not Sergeant Pepper. Yeah, so I like that, and I do like the album that preceded it, The Man Who Sold the World. The Space Oddity album, I can take it or leave it, to be honest. Aladdin Sane is okay. Pin-ups I quite like, although a lot of the Bowie fans don't really class that as a proper album, more because it's all cover songs, but to me, it's okay. So that's the original UK first pressing. Now, a few years ago, it was re-released in the UK. This time, it's on Parlophone, not RCA. Heavyweight vinyl. Remastered heavyweight 180 gram vinyl. You get a Parlophone logo on there where you don't on the original. On the original, you get RCA, don't you? And then Victor on that. Covers are about identical, apart from that. So the track list and everything's the same. Get a barcode on there, and obviously get Parlophone there. Lovely sounding record. Still actually got the shrink wrap on it as well. And again with this, I think you get the insert. You get this is actually slightly darker. You do get the insert with the song lyrics on it. So that's nice. And then the album itself, yeah, really, really heavyweight. So they have tried to make it look like the original album as much as they can. There is an orange label, but it says Bowie instead of RCA. Sound quality on this is absolutely amazing. I think I've only played it a couple of times, to be honest. But yeah, the reissue or remaster, whatever you want to call it, very, very nice. Some of the original David Bowie albums from the early 70s are now very collectible and are actually very expensive to get in anywhere near decent condition. And I was looking on eBay, I think it was yesterday afternoon, an original copy, original UK first pressing of this, not this one because that's the remastered, but this one, original first UK pressing, are going around the £75 mark for one in decent condition. You know, if you want one that's been played to death and hasn't got the inserts and scratched and all that lot, which if you're on a budget, I do understand that sometimes you can't get the top quality albums straight away that you want. But yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm not against having reissues of albums. I'm not against that at all. Everything has got its place. When you're a collector, everything has got its place. Whether you want the original, a lot of collectors will buy this, the original. They'll buy that, but then they'll probably never play it. For playing copy, they'll probably go out and buy the reissue. Like I say, at the end of the day, it all depends what you want. Personally, I would rather have the original. It is nice to have a reissue or a remaster, just so you can compare the sound quality. There's not a hell of a lot of difference in them, is there really? The covers are virtually identical. The backs are identical. You get the insert with the song titles on it, lyrics. As a collector, I would rather have that one. If I was just a casual fan, that one's okay. You can still get this one. I think they go for about 25 quid at the minute on eBay and Discogs. Like I say, that one goes anywhere between, decent copy like that, anywhere between sort of like 25 and 100 quid for a tip-top copy. I'd say that is a very, very strong, very good plus, that one. Like I say, it all depends what your budget is at the time. Obviously, if you've only just getting into record collecting, you might only have a cheaper hi-fi system or a cheaper record deck. I like these suitcase ones. There's nothing wrong with the suitcase ones. As I've said before, you know, if you're just getting into collecting, you're not going to go out and spend £300 or £400 on a halfway straight away. You might, you know, buy a few records and think, well, this isn't really for me. So, you know, everything's got its place in the world, hasn't it? But once you do start to get into your records, you probably would like upgrade. I mean, I'm quite lucky. I mean, I've got I've got 5 record decks up here, and they all work. I've got 2 in the other room, like my spares, and then I've got my Technics vintage hi-fi system in the living room downstairs. Now, a lot of people will be happy with just having something like what's behind me there, an amp, a tuner, a tape deck, and then that deck that's above that is a GPO gem. It's got a Union Jack like motif on it. It is a cheapish record deck. I think you can still pick them up for around the £100 mark. They won't chew your records up. The sound quality on them is pretty. I mean, they've got built-in speakers, so you can actually run that one just on its own. You don't have to run it through an amp. That is going through my Denon amp, so it is like it just sounds really, really nice because it's got a good bass sound and everything to it. So if I was collecting now, if I was starting out, I would probably go for something like that straight away. But it depends, you know, everything depends on how much money you've got to spend. It's like, you know, if you only just starting collecting, you'll probably go into places like HMV or other record retailers. Quick story about HMV. I went in there the other day and I was in my work clothes, so it's obvious that I wasn't like a terrorist or anything like that. The local one in Derby, and my daughter, whose birthday is in October, wanted me to look for some records for her, and I couldn't actually remember what they were. So I thought, well, while I'm there, if I video it, then I can make a video to show you like roughly what it's like going into a big department store sort of thing. And I basically got told to switch my phone off. Yeah. What I was doing wrong, I don't know, because I wasn't actually like videoing any people. All I was doing was like picking the records up and just showing you what you could get. And the woman that told me to switch my phone off basically said, we don't want people. I told her what I was doing. I said, you know, it's my daughter's birthday. So I was like, 1, looking for records for her so I could show her. And 2, I've got a video, a YouTube video, and I was going to make a, you know, put it on my channel. No, we don't want people to know how much we charge for records. That was what they stopped me doing. Well, I don't think it was so much I was videoing it. I think it's because sometimes I'd got the price on it, and they didn't want people to know what they was charging for records. Now, to me, that sounds strange because I actually told her what I was doing, and then she goes, "Well, yeah, technically that's all right, but you can't do it." Now, to me, that don't make sense. You can either do it or you can't do it. Bearing in mind, there's nothing anywhere in there that says you can't take photos or you can't take videos. Now, if I was like going around and I was like taking photos of the staff and things like that, I could sort of like understand that. But you know, all I was doing was basically going to make a video to show people what it was like to go to a modern record store nowadays. There's a lot of people, if you only just get back into records, you know, to go in somewhere like HMV can actually be a bit daunting. And you know, it's when I was a lad, you know, most towns had 3 or 4 record shops. You know, you'd have probably an hour price was the called, and then Woolworths obviously had them, Co-op would have them, and then you'd probably have a couple of like independent record stores, and then you'd probably have a record stall on a market. So I was just going to like do it to compare what it used to be like, but I was told I couldn't do it. So I was sort of like told off. Which, I mean, I can see the funny side, and you know, in these days where you've got, you know, you've got to be careful of strange people, and you know, but to me, I was in my work uniform. I mean, if people don't know, actually, my living, I drive a bus. So I was in my busman's uniform. You know, I don't know, but that's by the by, isn't it? But yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, you know, if you can only afford to buy new records, which in one way, see, yeah, this is the thing that gets me about new records. Yeah, that new records, I love them. The brand new, but if you're going to pay £20 for that, you might as well pay. See if you can get an original for £15 or £20. That's the way my mind works. But obviously, not everybody's got the internet. Not everybody's got internet banking or PayPal. So you know, it's a strange one. I can never work out. I do like new. I'm not slagging new records off. This is not what this video is about. Everything's got its place. That's what I was trying to say. You know, basically, if you're just getting into vinyl, records, you probably will go to a record shop and buy a new record. That's what I meant. But like I says, if you've got the money to buy a new record, you can probably get the original for less. Does that make sense? I know what I mean anyway. Like I say, you know, on this channel, I don't take myself too seriously. You know, all I'm trying to do is show you some of my records, tell you stories about record collecting, some of the things that have happened to me. Like I've just said, HMV. I don't think I got barred or banned. I don't know. Don't really care, to be honest. But you know, yeah, record collecting. It is as easy or as hard as you make it. You know, I know people that would say to be a record collector, you buy 180-gram records and you have to have a top-notch hi-fi. You know, I think they call themselves audiophiles, don't they now? But to me, as a record collector, I collect records and I play them on my record deck. You know, it's each to their own, isn't it, at the end of the day? You know, if you've got a small budget when you first start and you're not going to have a top-notch hi-fi, and you'll buy the records that you can afford to buy, and you start off by buying records that you just want. You know, you might like a David Bowie LP, or you might think, oh, I'll buy a Rolling Stones LP or something to see what they sound like. Well, no problem with that whatsoever. Anyway, we've gone off the topic a bit there, haven't we? So yeah, David Bowie, Hunky Dory. Highly recommend it, whichever one you get. You know, whether it's that one, or a German copy or whatever. You know, if you haven't ever heard the tracks on it, if you've got Spotify or some sort of streaming service, you know, just listen to a couple of the tracks, especially them that I said to you. What was it? Oh You Pretty Things, Life on Mars, Kooks, and Queen Bitch. They're the standout tracks for me on that album. But as always, you know, cherish your records, love them, clean them, above all, play them. For everybody that has been subscribing to the channel, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. If you like my videos and you haven't subscribed, think about subscribing. Doesn't cost you anything. I don't get paid for anything. It's like all these records, they are my own records. You know, EMI or Parlophone hasn't sent me that to do a review. I wish they had. Saved me a lot of money. But yeah, you know, and all these are just my own personal thoughts. You know, I'm not endorsing any record label, any record shop, any record store. I'll tell you where I buy my records from and things like that. And if I've ever got bargains, I'll tell you where I've got them from as well. And this is what you do as a collector. You try and pass on your knowledge. And if I make you laugh, I make you laugh. Like I say, I don't take myself that serious. This channel has been going, I think this is either the 5th or the 6th week now. So everybody that's viewing my videos and things like that, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. As I said earlier, it's nearly time for the Formula One. So I'm hoping that we do get a proper race today. And I think that's going to be about it now. 'Tis still sunny. It's like tradition. I have to mention, cherish and look after your records, but we'll play them. And then some people say, but you haven't said out about the weather. So yeah, it is nice and sunny. I think somebody's cutting the lawn or the edge out there somewhere. I can hear it. I can't really see anybody. So whatever you're doing on this Sunday, enjoy it and take care. If you're having a Sunday dinner, I hope it's really, really nice. I'm quite looking forward to my Sunday dinner today. If you're record hunting or, you know, out and about, you know, just take care. So from Beatley Dave, I'm wishing you all a very happy Sunday, and I will see you soon. But above all, take care.